Please don't throw yourself off a cliff, because then you won't be able to listen to 5-minute gospel reflections with me, Dr. Ben Safransky, anymore. Welcome. It's the first Sunday of Lent, and today's reading is one of the best for Lent, because this passage is one of the oldest reasons we have for celebrating Lent. Right after his baptism, Jesus goes into the desert, spends 40 days there. The earliest Christians, when they talked about what they were doing in the period of Lent leading up to Easter, this was one of the most important things they talked about. They talked about spending a period of time in the desert, facing temptation, fasting, combating the devil, in imitation of what Christ does in this passage. Well, we all perform one discipline during Lent, and that is giving up eating of meat on Fridays. The question I think we need to ask ourselves is, when I give up meat, what am I doing to fill that gap? Am I eating in such a way that the sacrifice of meat is not really such a sacrifice? When I wake up on Friday during Lent, am I making myself a big, juicy omelet full of cheese and vegetables and covered with sour cream and salsa? Am I going out to dinner at Red Lobster and ordering everything on the menu, eating a huge pile of fried shrimp covered with cocktail sauce? I'd like to suggest that that might not be in the spirit of sacrifice that the Lenten disciplines call us to, and may not be the best thing for us spiritually, because it can rob us of the benefit that we could gain from actually embracing those sacrifices. So I remember a couple years ago, one of my children decided to give up candy for Lent. And she told me that this was her idea. It was her idea to give up candy. And she told me that she thought she'd be okay giving up candy because she could just eat twice as many cookies and cupcakes. Right? So is that following the letter of the discipline? If I say, God, I'm going to give up candy for Lent, then if I eat cookies, am I technically breaking the discipline that I've entered into? Well, no. But I might also be robbing myself of the good that that discipline could do for me. So my challenge for you this Lent, again, also my challenge for myself, is to think about the disciplines that you're undertaking this Lent, the normal ones, fasting on Ash Wednesday and Good Friday, meatless Fridays, as well as the ones you may have chosen for yourself. And I want you to ask yourself, am I really giving something up? Or if you're doing something positive, like adding extra prayer, giving to charity, I want you to ask the question, am I making a sacrifice in my life? Am I giving until it hurts? Is suffering a part of this? And I ask that question not because suffering in itself is the good that we should pursue, but because what we want out of these Lenten disciplines is to be purified and strengthened. And when those processes are really happening, then some kind of suffering is going to be a part of it. The image that the Bible often uses for suffering and purification is gold being tested by fire. In order to take the impurities out of gold, it has to be heated to a temperature so high that it melts and the impurities come to the top. If we think of our Lenten practices that way, then there's going to be some heat and some melting, which is probably going to be a little bit painful. So I want to challenge you to think about your disciplines and do yourself a favor. Make sure that those disciplines are really getting to the core of yourself, helping you become a better person and make spiritual sacrifices. Have a blessed Sunday, and I'll see you tomorrow.